Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Claire from Wiltshire and this is my allotment plot. If you are one of my regulars, welcome back. Today I am going to do a January tour. I am not going to do at the beginning of the month what's going on in the month. I'm actually going to show you what I've achieved in that month, what has grown, what I built, if there are any major changes, any fails, any wins. That is what I'm going to do today. So it's the 31st of January today. So welcome to my plot. Okay, so we've got nothing coming up in the first two tyres. And then we go past the temporary path onto the next lot of tyres. I've got spring bulbs and things like that growing. My lemon thyme there is doing absolutely fantastic. And then I've got some poppies that have come up. And then I've got 5 then with actual spring bulbs, and they are looking absolutely fantastic. And I've even got some heads on them. So that's amazing. I've got some heads on these. And then I have got my lavender, which is now in its 3rd year, and I've got lots and lots of new growth right in the middle there. So the middle is where the flowers will come up. So I'm really pleased with how the lavender is. One of the things that I decided I was going to do in January was to relocate my entrance. So at the moment it's here, so in between. And then as you go down the path, it takes you to the brassica bed, and then you can either go right or left into the actual plot. So what I'm planning on doing is moving the tyres down and having my entrance at the start. That way I've got one whole path going all the way down. So when I've got to bring in wheelbarrows full of things, I've got one path to go all the way down, which will then free up all of this space here for growing. I would have liked to have been able to start that this month, but unfortunately I've had lots of other jobs on, so I've not been able to do it. But that is a February job. So as soon as we get 2 or 3 dry days in February, doesn't matter if it's warm or cold, that is when this will be started and the tyres will move over. And as you can see, there's quite a mound of soil here that will then be evened out throughout that whole area, ready for the growing season in spring. So I will come down the normal path right now. Okay, so on we come to the famous brassica bed, the thing that I built with such love and care. That has been the bane since I built it. It's doing a fantastic job in regards to keeping everything away from the butterflies, keeping everything away from the pigeons. But what's going on is we've had a lot of easterly winds this year, and it's just blowing it from side to side, and I've had to repeg it in, build lots of different things, add extra structure to it just to hold it in place. And it's being held up with what we did this month in the middle. However, this end, as you can see, if I just zoom in a little bit, it's completely leaning over again. So I'm going to have to add a new piece of wood to this area so it doesn't blow over. But that being said, everything that I have in here is growing fantastically. The garlic is brilliant, the kale is fantastic, the cabbages, the broccoli, and all the beets that I left in last year, they are now coming up and they've got lots of new foliage on there. So that's fantastic. And if I show you just down here, I've got some leeks just on the edge here, and they are looking quite snazzy. I'm really pleased with that. It's a win and a fail, and it's just starting to rain. That is bloody typical. Okay, let's make our way down to the shed. Oh no. No. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Joshua's bed. This got a great mulching of mushroom compost. It is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy, and he's already picked lots of things that he's going to be growing in here. I planted 1 flower just for now in each bed, just for the bees, because the bees have been coming out because it's been so warm and mild. The bees have been coming out, and I didn't like the idea that they had nothing to buzz around in while they were on my plot. So I did just get 1 early pack of flowers. But primrose are really hardy, so I'm hoping that they do absolutely fantastic here. And then onto the other garlic bed. So this garlic bed has rhubarb crowns in it. So I'm hoping to get garlic and rhubarb from this bed. So this is definitely a win. The garlic came up lovely and the rhubarb has already started to sprout. So that gives me good signs. So there's brand new rhubarb crowns in here and there's one that's over a year old. So I got a bit of both. So I'm hoping to get some rhubarb this year because last year I didn't get any. Okay, so on to the new beds. These are the newest beds. Looking lovely and symmetrical with my long no dig beds. So these beds have been filled with soil, compost, topsoil, mushroom compost, and this one's had some sand in it. So I will be growing root vegetables mainly in this one, and then I will be growing a lot of flowers in the other one. So these beds are already, as you can see, prepared to start growing. As soon as I'm ready with what I'm growing in here, I will be putting an extra layer of topsoil over the top just to bring that level up a little bit on the bed, because you can see it's a lot lower than the other bed. Okay. Nobody can forget the video of me stripping it off when I was doing this bed. It was a fantastic day to be that warm in January. So this is looking again great. You can see the mushroom compost has really compounded down into the soil now. So it's compacted down lovely, and it will again get a dressing of topsoil when we get a little bit closer to the growing season. And the peas, last time I came down, they were eaten by slugs and they have come up lovely as well. So the peas definitely have growth. Okay. So I will be planting some more peas into toilet roll tubes this week, just as an extra precaution in case these ones do get eaten if we get more wet weather, as you're seeing right now. Okay. Right, let's go back in the shed a minute. And it's time for the compost bays. This compost bay was finished off, so it is almost ready to use in the spring. Really pleased with how well this has done. And this is the new one now, which we're currently using. I do need to put some lids on these because these are getting too wet, just like I am right now. So I'm going to duck back in. Ah, quick move. Okay, so now we have our 2 cherry trees. These are budding up lovely. I learned something new about cherry trees. Okay, so what I've learned is anything pointy is going to be foliage for this season, and anything that's fat is actually going to be fruit. Looks like I am only going to get leafage, only foliage, I think, which is fine because it's still a very young tree. Let me check the other one. These weren't in the best of conditions when I purchased them. No. Oh, I don't know. There might be a couple on this side that's budding up for fruit. And this is very green on the top. These might need trimming back, I think. So what I'm going to do is bring my pronabos down and just trim the top of these, because where they've been cut flat, it's holding on to the water, which will make it go green and mouldy. So I'm going to prune these ones back. And although they're a stone fruit and you're not supposed to do it yet, those top ones do need a prune back. So this is what I would call a win and a fail. So I had an idea to get my boundary back, was to put a rope fence going all the way along. And as you can see, I put a string fence up for now, which is my boundary, in the hope that my neighbour may realise that they are overgrown onto my side. And I like the idea of this, and I bought all of the rope for it. However, now it's up, I don't think it looks very neat and tidy, and I like neat and tidy. So I'm actually going to do a dead hedge instead. So I've got some sticks already, and I'm going to start doing my boundary with the main sticks. And then this is the woods around me. I've got lots of orchards next to me to my right, and so much of that has already been cut down. So I will be able to use those sticks, and I've got already quite a few at home. And just over to my left there is a small wooded area, so I will be able to use those sticks. Anything that's fallen, I won't be cutting anything, but anything that's fallen I can use for my dead hedge on this side, because this is the most visible side. I really want something pretty here. But on the other side, I decided in March I'm actually going to build a fence with pallets. So I'm going to do a pallet fence on that side, because that's the side that is being how shall I put it, being used to access my plot and not do nice things to my plot. So I want something more stable on that side that isn't going to be easily accessible to my plot. So yeah, so this is a win and a fail. A win because I started, and a fail because I changed my mind, like I often do. Okay, so another win that I have got, even though it hasn't started yet, is I have decided that my hut that I'm going to build here, so this is going to be the foundation, the base of my hut, which is 4 blue pallets. That is actually going to be moved over this way. So it's going to come right over to the edge of the path here. So that's quite far. And then I am going to build it. So I've got quite a lot of the materials all ready to build it. I just haven't had the time to start it. So I've got decking boards for the floor. I've got lovely posts that will go down the front, which will then start helping the roof stay on, which I've also got the sheeting for the roof because I'm going to have corrugated metal for the roof. So I already have that. And I'm going to be using pallets to go all the way around the edges and then just fill in any gaps from those pallets with extra boards from pallets that I have. So I'm definitely on the lookout for more pallets because I don't have enough for the fencing that I'm going to put up for the boundary and this area. But this area is definitely more important to me at the moment to get this starting to be built, because every time I come up here I get wet like I am today. So that is what I decided is going to go for this one. It's just going to come down this way, and then I'm going to walk up here, have a doorway into it here, and then while I'm on it here, it should stop about here, and then here I am open. Oh my gosh. Here I am hoping to have an opening, so there'll be no door going into the plot here, but just an opening. I'm going to see if I can get a second-hand window and put a second-hand window in there, something that preferably opens, because this area here is where all the pumpkins grow. So really I don't want to access this area anyway. And then what I'm going to do is have a doorway going straight through, so I will be stepping out here into the allotment, so I can still then reach the water butt, the shed, the other water butt, and the compost heaps, and just generally the rest of the area. So I hope you can envision that. I will have a plan drawn up, and I will show you at the end of this video what my plan looks like, because it's very difficult to see inside my head. So yeah, so this area is, I definitely think, a win, because I now can confirm how it's going to be. So I'm really pleased about that. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace at the moment and other places looking for materials to be able to put in, and looking at other people's YouTube channels to see what they've built. But yeah, it's going to be a hut, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then what I'm going to do with this area, this is a new bed that's come in. Again, just needs topsoil and it's ready to be planted in. And this area gets lots of hot sun, so anything that I'm growing, like chilies, cucumbers, tomatoes, all of that kind of stuff will be in this area. I need to work on this area here because we had a lot of rain and this was completely flooded and I couldn't even walk through. It was that flooded, it was horrendous. So I massively need to build up this area. So I think I'm going to put some extra soil here, and then I'm going to put some cardboard and then some chip-ins, and hopefully it won't flood again. And then I have my plum tree, which is underneath here. If I can show you my plum tree, because I haven't seen it in a few weeks. So it's already started to bud up. So I'd like to see if I'm going to get any plums this year. Okay, let's have a look. So I got this tree the same time as the cherry tree. So that does not look like it. I'm actually going to keep this cover off for now. So I would say no plums. That definitely doesn't look like I got any big round ones. But that's fine. And again, it's quite stumpy here, so I may need to trim that one back as well. Okay, let's just put that here for now. And then just down at the bottom, so I'm not wasting any space, I've got lots of different herbs in here, which is growing fantastic. I mean, look at that, it's still beautiful and green, and I've still got a little bit of thyme. And lots of spring bulbs coming up as well. I've got quite a few spring bulbs coming up, daffodils mainly in this one. And my mint is in this container. That way I haven't got to worry about, I don't know what that is though. Strange. That looks like part of a tree that's growing all by itself. Let's leave that in there, you never know. Well, I've lost my train of thought now. Where was I? Yeah, so I've got the mint in here growing. That way the roots aren't going to spread everywhere. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I love a bit of mint. Okay, now if you look at my alien beds, as I like to call them now, they are all fully covered. We have a massive pigeon issue. Pigeons eat blooming everything I put in the ground. Some of these beds have stuff in, some of them don't, but I've covered them all ready anyway to hopefully deter the pigeons. As you can see by this bed, lots and lots of brassicas went in here and they have been eaten to pieces till there's nothing left. So those brassicas got eaten, but I've left them in there just in case they do decide to come back to life. Okay, and then we have the fruit cage. That's a definite win. The roof is on now, so the birds aren't landing in here. Everything is secure, nothing can get in here. All of my raspberry canes are now in, and they've actually started to bud up as well, which is fantastic because they're autumn fruiting raspberries and I wasn't expecting anything just yet. So some of them are very small still, and some of the other ones have actually started to bud up. That end one looks really good, Shannon. Okay. And then we have the 3 strawberry beds there. There are 3 different varieties of strawberries in there. I can't name them all right now, but I will put it up on the screen when I remember them all. So those beds are completely filled with strawberries. So I'm hoping for a bumper harvest this year. One of the things I decided this month is because I have quite a lot of space in the walkway in the middle there, because my raspberries are so young, I'm actually going to put a couple of round raised beds in there and just pop a couple of other things in there that probably maybe my giant kale or my giant parsley or my giant coriander that I'm going to be growing, pop them in here away from the birds so the birds aren't going to be at them all the time. Something that grows really tall is what I think I'm going to grow in here, that because it's very high, so it's 7 foot high, so I haven't got to worry about it touching the ceiling. So yeah, so this is a definite win for me. Having this here has been fantastic. Okay, so now we come on to my no dig beds. So these have had compost on them at the beginning of January, compost that we grew ourselves, and everything is looking fantastic. So the onions are doing fantastic. There's red and there's white onions. Here is mooli, so I didn't thin this out. I really used it as a cover crop more than anything because I really didn't think it was going to grow. But it's actually rooted really, really well. So I'm really hoping for some mooli. Enough for the year would be fantastic. And again, these onions, they are looking very, very, very good. I'm very happy with these. I've got some weeds in and around that I do need to clear out. But let me show you. Here, I've got spinach. I've got a really long row of spinach, and that is coming up lovely. So that is fantastic. And I have got something really random I've just noticed here. I wonder what that is. I have no idea what that is. And again, I've got another primrose just there with lots of new heads on it. So I'll be getting lots more flowers coming from that one. And then down on the other side of the no dig bed, as I said earlier, I've got different onions. I've also got just here, this one's looking fantastic. Let me just, so that is more spinach that I've got growing down there, and I've got chamomile in there, but it hasn't come up as of yet, but I think that's just because it is too cold. What else did I put in here? That's the chamomile. No, just the chamomile in here, which definitely has not come up, but then the ground is very, very wet. So yeah, so I'm hoping for some chamomile as well here. And then on the end, I have a combination of garlic and onions. So the things that I am most pleased about in the month of January for 2026 really is how mild it's been. Everything is loving how mild it's been. Although it's been super wet, just not having that heavy deep frost that we had this time last year has made a huge difference to not only what I've been able to achieve up here, but to what I'm growing up here as well. And it gives me a lot of hope for the year ahead for growing. At the moment, because I've got so much on landscape in my home garden, and I've been landscaping for a client this week, that I haven't been down here at all. So this is the first time I've been down here in 10 days, except for fixing one of the things that really needed fixing. So I think no major fails, nothing that I've been devastated about. You know, the brassica bed has been a pain in the bum, but I am going to be working on that bed in the early spring just so it doesn't happen again. I can't do nothing about the weather. This is a brand new site. It's very, very open, and I think I decided I'm not going to go with a polytunnel. I think I'm just going to build a better structure. That's kind of where I'm going with that one. I could change my mind. I could win the lottery and buy a polytunnel. But if I am going to get a polytunnel, I would really like it to be put in by a company and not to be put in by myself. Because judging by that structure, I wouldn't do a very good job now, would I? So as soon as the threat of a hard frost has gone completely, I have lots ready to come up here. I've got lots of cauliflowers, lots of flowers. My cornflowers have gone absolutely balmy, so I have lots of cornflowers to put in. This year's different. I'm going to do the polyculture method this year in the majority of the beds, and I think that's going to massively help with the exposed soil, to making sure that's at a minimum because of my water shortage that I have here, because there is no water supply here. So I think that's going to massively help. So I am going to pack these beds out as much as possible, which is going to make it really difficult to do harvest videos and stuff like that, because I'm going to be going here, there and everywhere to harvest what I need to harvest. But I think that way I'm not harvesting everything at once, and I can harvest just what I need when I need it. So you probably won't see no huge harvest videos like everybody likes to put out there, but I think that way I'm going to manage a lot better what it is that we're going to be eating, and I can come along and say, right, I know what my dinners are for this week, this is what I need to get, and this is how much of what I need to take home, rather than just harvest all the corn at once, rather than harvest all the potatoes at once. Just take what I need and use this area as not a show area. It will be an area to supply food for my family, which was the main goal of getting this plot in the first place. Okay, so I have just walked up to my daughter's plot. It is looking good, apart from some rubbish here and a bit of a broken fence there. So if we walk around onto the path so we don't get covered in mud. So the raspberry canes are looking fantastic down here. Wow, you're going to have so many raspberries. That looks amazing. Okay, so what do we have in this bed here?
Garlic I did wrong.
Garlic you did wrong. I see.
Oh no, it's been
oh,
dug up.
there's loads. So you can see the garlic has already been dug up. So let's pop that back in. At least it's got roots on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that one?
With the netting on, isn't it?
Yeah, rats will do everything. So in case you hadn't noticed, my daughter's filming for me today. So while she puts the garlic back in, let's have a look over here. What's in here, Shannon?
Strawberries.
Yeah, we need to redo that for you. You got a bed though, haven't you? You're going to put strawberries in your other bed or not?
I can't get it in because of that.
Right, just push it down.
I can't. I'm one added here, woman.
I know, I'm trying not to walk on this because it's really bad. So is everything you've done on your plot everything you've done in January, or did you do a lot of it in December as well?
These two I did January, and I've done the path and the raspberries in January.
Okay. So in January, these are the beds that Shannon has put in. So the garlic has gone in here. The strawberry bed is a temporary measure. She got the strawberry runners for Christmas. So they are temporarily in there so they don't like go off or go mouldy. So they do need to be either put in the ground or have some kind of frame built. I'm sure I can rustle up something for her. And then these paths she's put in this year, they've all come in. The paths look absolutely amazing. How's your compost been looking? Oh, that looks lovely. Ding, ding. So well done on your compost bin. Compost is looking good. I taught you well. Okay, so you've got an empty one there. You can even put your strawberries in there.
That's what it was for.
Oh, okay. So you're going to put that next to
Exactly.
the garlic?
Right next to it.
Okay, so that's cool. So she's got a plan. She knows what she's doing. Then we can walk on this area nicely. Because this...
I wouldn't press it because what does it cover up the hole?
Okay.
Oh no, one of my fences is come down.
Yeah, you just need to mallet it back in. Okay, so as you can see, there are plenty of things for Shannon to be building on and so much space to build and so much chip-ins to go down. We're going to need like a truck full just to make sure that this area is covered, because as soon as we get a little bit of warmth, that's it, those weeds are going to be coming through and she's going to have a job on her hands. So I think definitely in February we will give her another little helping hand to get her pathways put in, because pathways is such a big job to do by yourself. So where I'm stood right now is where she'd like a shed. She doesn't have one yet. We've been looking on Facebook Marketplace, but they're either too big to fit in the car or too broken down. So we are looking for a nice small shed, nothing massive, just for Shannon to get into if it's raining, so she can bring her little dog down with her, and just a nice area to sit so she can look at all her flowers that she's grown, which is what mostly Shannon is using her plot for, is her flowers. So if I make my way round carefully.
Look, I've got growth.
Oh,
What growth I can tell you because I cannot remember. All I've remembered is that I've planted hyacinths.
so Shannon has put a bird feeder in. She likes the idea of having a bird feeder here. There are lots of robins up here. There you go, that's a little bit straighter for you. So yeah, so just a little something to encourage them to come onto the plot. With nature, if you've got the birds coming onto your plot, they are going to pick away at all the bugs that are potentially going to be eating your flowers and your vegetables. So these are Shannon's 4 planters with her spring bulbs in them. A whole mixture of spring bulbs of alliums, daffodils, hyacinths, possibly some crocus. I think you've got lots of hyacinths, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that's what these beds are. These are going to be predominantly flowers. They do need a really good top up. So once the spring flowers are coming to the end, she will be topping these beds up. So she'll be topping up these beds once the spring bulbs are coming to an end, ready to plant all of her summer flowers and summer bulbs. So that's how Shannon is doing. So you've got another path coming down here. So everything I think she's done in January is fantastic. She has had a little bit of help, but most of it has been done by her own fair hands. She's spent many hours up here and she should be really proud of herself for getting everything done. I think once the pathways are put in, it's going to transform this whole area. So on that note, it is a goodbye from me and a goodbye from Shannon.
Huh?
Say bye.
Bye.
And that's my January tour. So I hope you liked it and I hope you'll see me again very, very soon. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, comment. I love you guys when you're commenting on my videos and I can interact with you no matter where you are in the country. If you put a little flag down in the bottom at the comment, then I know where you are, and we can have lots of conversations about things. You might have some ideas about the new plot and what we could possibly do to add to it and improve it. As it is a blank canvas, that's the best time to make plans. And if you've got anything that you're going to be growing this year that you think that I might like to grow, please drop a comment as well. So I will see you very shortly on another vlog.